Have you ever found yourself stuck in the same argument with your partner, friend, or family member, feeling like you're just going in circles? It's frustrating, exhausting, and can leave both sides feeling misunderstood. Today, we're diving into why these repetitive conflicts happen, and more importantly, how you can finally break free from the cycle. Let's start by understanding what's really going on beneath the surface when the same issues keep coming up. Often repeated arguments aren't just about the topic at hand. They're usually symptoms of deeper, unresolved feelings or unmet needs. Maybe it's about feeling heard, respected, or valued. When these core needs aren't addressed, the same surface-level disagreements keep popping up. Recognizing this is the first step toward lasting change. Let's explore how to identify what's really fueling your recurring conflicts. It's easy to fall into the blame game when arguments repeat. Each person points fingers, hoping the other will change, but blame rarely leads to resolution. Instead, it creates defensiveness and pushes people further apart. Shifting from blame to understanding is crucial. Let's see how changing your approach can open the door to real solutions. One of the most powerful tools to stop repeating arguments is active listening. This means truly hearing what the other person is saying without interrupting or planning your response. When people feel genuinely listened to, tensions often ease and new perspectives emerge. Let's look at some ways to practice active listening in your next conversation. Sometimes arguments repeat because needs aren't clearly expressed. Instead of hinting or expecting the other person to read your mind, try stating your needs directly and respectfully. For example, instead of saying, "You never help around the house," try, "I'd appreciate it if we could share chores more evenly." Clear communication reduces misunderstandings and helps both sides feel respected. The timing of a conversation can make a huge difference. Trying to resolve issues when emotions are running high rarely works. Instead, choose a calm moment to talk things through. Agreeing to pause and revisit the topic later can prevent escalation and lead to more productive discussions. Every relationship has its patterns and triggers, those little things that set off big reactions. Becoming aware of these can help you anticipate and manage conflicts before they spiral. Take note of what tends to spark repeated arguments and discuss these patterns openly with the other person. It takes courage to look at your own role in recurring arguments. Maybe you react defensively, or perhaps you avoid difficult topics. Taking responsibility for your part doesn't mean accepting all the blame, it means being honest about how your actions contribute to the cycle. This openness can inspire the other person to do the same. Healthy boundaries are essential for breaking the cycle of repeated arguments. Boundaries help define what's acceptable and what isn't, protecting both people's well-being. Discuss and agree on boundaries together so both sides feel safe and respected. This can prevent old issues from resurfacing. A sincere apology can go a long way in healing repeated conflicts. It's not just about saying sorry, but about acknowledging the hurt caused and showing a willingness to make things better. Apologizing doesn't mean you're weak, it means you value the relationship more than being right. Not every disagreement needs to be resolved. Sometimes it's okay to agree to disagree, especially on issues that aren't central to your relationship. Respecting each other's differences can actually strengthen your bond and reduce the pressure to win every argument. When arguments repeat, it's easy to get stuck rehashing the problem. Instead, shift your focus to finding solutions. Ask, "What can we do differently next time?" Brainstorm together and be open to compromise. This proactive approach can help you move forward instead of staying stuck. Managing your emotions during conflict is key to breaking the cycle. Practice techniques like deep breathing, taking a break, or counting to 10 before responding. When you stay calm, it's easier to communicate effectively and avoid saying things you'll regret later. Often, we listen to respond, not to understand. Make it your goal to truly understand the other person's perspective, even if you don't agree. Ask clarifying questions and reflect back what you hear. This builds trust and can reveal new ways to resolve old issues. Holding onto past hurts can keep arguments alive. If you find yourself bringing up old issues, it may be time to let go. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but it does mean choosing not to let the past control your present. This frees both of you to move forward. Misunderstandings often arise from assumptions. Instead of assuming you know what the other person thinks or feels, ask them directly. Clarifying intentions can prevent unnecessary arguments and help both sides feel understood. Sometimes, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Nonverbal cues like tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language can either escalate or de-escalate a conflict. Being aware of your nonverbal signals can help you communicate more effectively and avoid misunderstandings. External stress can make recurring arguments worse. When you're tired, overwhelmed, or under pressure, you're more likely to react strongly. Recognize when stress is affecting your interactions and take steps to manage it, like getting enough rest or taking time for self-care. Approach recurring issues as a team, not as opponents. Use collaborative problem-solving techniques like brainstorming options and evaluating them together. This shifts the focus from winning the argument to finding a solution that works for both of you. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, arguments keep repeating. In these cases, seeking outside help from a counselor or mediator can make a big difference. A neutral third party can help both sides communicate more effectively and uncover hidden issues. Breaking the cycle of repeated arguments takes time and effort. Celebrate small wins along the way, like having a calm conversation or resolving a minor disagreement. Recognizing progress keeps you motivated and reinforces positive changes. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. When trust is strong, it's easier to resolve conflicts and avoid repeating the same arguments. Build trust by being consistent, keeping promises, and showing respect, even during disagreements. Early experiences shape how we relate to others. Understanding your own and your partner's attachment styles can shed light on why certain issues keep coming up. For example, someone with an anxious attachment may need more reassurance, while someone with an avoidant style may need space. Recognizing these patterns can help you respond more compassionately. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. When you practice empathy, you're better able to understand the other person's feelings and motivations. This can diffuse tension and open the door to more productive conversations, breaking the cycle of repeated arguments. Sometimes, a little humor can lighten the mood and help both sides step back from the heat of the moment. Shared laughter can remind you of your connection and make it easier to resolve disagreements. Just be sure your humor is kind and not at the other person's expense. Regular check-ins can prevent small issues from turning into big arguments. Set aside time to talk about how things are going, what's working, and what could be improved. This proactive approach helps you stay connected and address concerns before they escalate. Change doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself and the other person as you work to break old patterns. Progress may be slow, but every step forward counts. Remember, patience is a sign of strength, not weakness. Take time to reflect on your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Ask yourself what you want from the relationship and what you might need to change. Self-awareness is a powerful tool for breaking the cycle of repeated arguments and building healthier connections. No two people are exactly alike, and that's a good thing. Embrace your differences and see them as strengths rather than sources of conflict. When you appreciate what makes each person unique, it's easier to find common ground and avoid repeating the same arguments. Breaking the cycle of repeated arguments is a journey, not a destination. By practicing empathy, clear communication, and patience, you can build stronger, more resilient relationships. Remember, every effort you make brings you one step closer to lasting harmony and understanding.